All right, so what I want to do here is show you how to set up a calendar in GoHighLevel. And there's different types of calendars. I'm going to go through the basic process of setting up a calendar so it's ready to be used in a funnel or to embed on your website. So if we're in the dashboard at the moment, we go down here to settings, we click on settings, and then we click on calendars in the left menu. And you can see here there are quite a few different types of calendars we can use. And so let's just go at the top here. There's calendars. If you click here, there's preferences. So this is some standard preferences for calendars. And so we can always change these, but we might say the standard kind of scheduling option is the location is custom and then it's a phone call. Or we could say it's a Zoom meeting. Over here, they've got one here where it's phone and then meeting location, and then it puts the actual phone number in. I don't like doing that because I like to always phone and call my clients. I don't want them to call me. So I'll put custom and then phone call, and I might put I will call. Okay, something like that. Account preferences. So this is just a whole bunch of options on how your calendars are configured. So you can make the week starts always on a Sunday, or you can make it a Monday. There's some widget preferences, how it looks. So pretty basic stuff there. If we go to availability, you'll see that this is the standard availability for your calendars, and these can always be changed. Okay, so the standard time zone is Australia, Brisbane. You can say, look, the standard one, we never have bookings on Tuesday, so you can see the Tuesday is removed. And so forth. And then you can adjust times. One thing to note here, you can always add 2 times. So you can say from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then you can say from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so see how you've got a break there, and then you can copy to all the locations as well. Okay, so all the days, and then you can remove a day, and then you can adjust this one just for this day. You can say, well, this one will go to 10. Whoops, can't do that. 8, and this one just on Tuesdays we're going to go to 10 p.m. Okay, so it's very, very customizable. And then finally we have connections, and this is where you can connect your calendar in. Okay, and so you can see this is the settings for me, and you know, there's this is my calendar. It's not two-way synced. That's the holidays, the calendar, so it's not going to book times on Australian holidays. I'm using Zoom. So this is all the options for the person using the account at the moment. Okay, it's their connection, it's their availability, it's their particular preferences, and these are the calendars for everybody. Okay, and then you can now create calendars. So the next step is groups. So you can actually create a group of calendars. So you can have a group that might be it might be sales appointments, and you put all your sales appointments in this group called sales appointments. You might have a group called onboarding, and there's all a bunch of different types of onboarding calls. And so you have a group and then onboarding. Now the reason why you have a group like this is because you can actually visibly show all those calendars on one page. Okay, so that's the whole idea of a group, and you can group them together. You don't have to have groups, but they are useful if you want to show a whole bunch of different options. So you may have a calendar for all of your physiotherapists, say, and they're all booked under physiotherapy, and then you have a calendar for each physiotherapist. Now, it's a really good example of why you would group calendars into a physiotherapy category or group, and then you would allocate each physiotherapist in your practice to that group, and then you can have a page with physiotherapy calendars, and all of those calendars are there. Okay? And so let's go to calendar now. So calendar here is where we could actually create a calendar. So let's click the create button, and you can see there's the simple calendar, which I recommend not using anymore. It's the original old calendar. I think they probably should remove this. This one here is for when you want to book a class and have people, multiple people book with one person. Okay, and then collective booking. This is another type. So have a look and see if these ones are the ones that you like. But the standard one you're always going to use is the round robin. Okay, it's where you can have a calendar and you can have one person on that calendar, or 2 or 10. But if you just have a single calendar just for yourself, it's the round robin one is the one you want to use. Okay, not the simple one. So let's click select. And you've got to give it a name. So I might call this a video marketing machine strategy call, okay? And then who's going to be in it? All my team members that are in my staff section, they'll come up here and I can choose one, or I can choose 6 of them if I want to. And I might call this VMM strategy. Now this has to be a unique URL. You can see that's already taken. So I have to just change it until it's accepted, okay? And that's been accepted. I'm going to make it 30 minutes. I can choose the days, but I don't like to do this. What I like to do is click advanced now. When I click advanced, it gives me a lot more detail on this calendar. And this is the way I like to work with it. You can upload a logo here for the actual calendar page. This is the name, right? You can write a description, you know, a 30-minute call to see if the VMM is great for your business, okay? You can allocate it to a group. So you don't have to, but you can. Here's the custom URL. Now this is very important. I like to give it a meeting invite title, which this is the title that's going to be in the Google Calendar or Outlook or Apple Calendar that goes into your prospect's calendar and into your calendar. It has to be meaningful. So you can't just call it a video marketing machine strategy call, right? Because you go, well, who's that with? And when a client sees this, they go, well, who's that with? So what I like to do, I've got another calendar here. I'm just going to edit it. I'm going to copy what I put there. So this is using custom fields, and you can watch the video on custom fields. And I like to do it this way. So video marketing machine strategy session with, and the custom field is the contact name. This is the person who is the prospect. They're called the contact in GoHighLevel. And username is the team member or the staff member or the person in GoHighLevel that's part of the business, okay? So what I do is I say video marketing machine strategy session with the prospect John and Marlon. My name's Marlon, okay? And that's how I like to do it, because when I see that in my calendar, I know what type of session it is, what type of calendar appointment, and I know who it's with. When a client sees it in their calendar, they know what it is and they know who it's with, me. Very, very important. Okay, so here's team members, where you can allocate team members. And this part is really cool. This is where you can say, look, is it a phone call or is it a Zoom call? Because I have Zoom already configured and it uses Zoom. Now, what's good about this is it'll create a Zoom link. It'll send it to the client in the calendar, and everything will work for you. So when the client gets it or the prospect gets it, they will get a Zoom link they can click on, and you can click on as well. You can choose the color if you like. And then I click save, and you'll see it'll move down to availability. Okay, now we're in availability. So let's set this up. So availability, you can do standard or you can do custom. So standard is just the standard way of doing it. And then custom is when, you can add a particular day. So you may just have it for exact days, and then the calendar doesn't work. But what I like is this recurring time. So every Monday at 8 a.m., there are times available in the calendar. So this will work in conjunction with the profile. So if we just open up my profile, you see down here, I have my availability here. If my availability here is just say every Monday, okay? So I'm going to release this. So it's every Monday. That's all I'm willing in my personal profile to see clients. When we go here, and I can say, look, this calendar is available Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But because my personal calendar is only Mondays, then this calendar, when someone sees it, and because I'm involved, because I'm part of it, it will only show Mondays because it defers to the personal profile. That's the most important calendar for someone, okay? Now, what will happen is if under here, we have Marlon and we have another person, and that other person is available Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even though I'm only available Monday, it will show all the days because one of us is available. And that's what's good about round robin. It'll show all the availability for all the people, and then it'll show that person's, if two of us are available on the Monday, then it'll round robin that. So, I get the first one, they get the second one. All right. Now, you can make this a recurring event. Well, you can say, look, it repeats daily and so forth. You can, if spots are unavailable, then skip those slots. So that makes sense. But I rarely do recurring. I'll always, for normal strategy calls, they're normally just this kind of meeting. This is more like something that's kind of like a webinar or something like that. Okay. Now, meeting interval is, if you just read this, you've got to understand this. It's the meeting interval reflects the amount of time between booking slots that will be shown in the calendar. For a 30-minute event, that should be available at the top of each hour. The interval should be 1 hour. For a 30-minute event, that should be available every 30 minutes. The interval should be 30 minutes, okay? So what this is saying is if your meeting duration is 30 minutes, your interval should be 30 minutes, right? So it allows for that interval. But if you say the meeting interval is 60 minutes, it means the meeting is 30 minutes, and then the second 30 minutes of the hour, it won't let someone book in because it'll only book meetings at the top of the hour. It'll leave that 30-minute gap because 60 minus 30 equals 30. So then there's a 30-minute gap between the end of the first meeting and the start of the next one. So that's why with this, you make that 30 if you want a 30-minute duration. And then after that meeting, you can book another meeting straight away. Minimum schedule notice, I like to put this as hours, and I put 12 hours. Now, why do I do this? Because I don't want it to be 1 o'clock today and someone books an appointment at 3 o'clock today, because I might be doing something else. I might be going to see the kids. And someone books an appointment and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had that appointment. Or I may not see the appointment. So what I do is I say, no one can book an appointment for any less than 12 hours ahead of the time I'm at right now. So it's minimum scheduling notice, very important. You decide what's good for you. Date range, you don't want to make it go forever, okay? So someone might book an appointment in 6 months. 30 days is a good range, right? And if you're doing Facebook ads or Google ads, you might want to make that only 7 days, because the longer you book it, the less likely they are to come, especially off an ad. So, but for a normal calendar, 30 days is good. How many maximum bookings a day? I leave that. And maximum bookings per slot per user, I just leave that. And then buffer time, I leave that. I don't want a buffer time between my appointments. Then I click save. Forms and payment. Okay, so this is the form. So when someone books in, what information are we asking them for? So this is the standards. We ask the first name, last name, email, and phone, and any notes. We can create a custom form in the form section, and then this is where they all are. And then we can choose one of these forms instead of the default form. So this is where we go back and we can go to sites, and we can go to forms, and we can create a new form. And we can say, actually, when we have the booking section of our calendar, I want to get their full name, I want their phone, I want their email, and I also want their, organization name, right? Their company name. Or you might say, you know what? I actually want a custom field. So we go here to custom fields, and we might create a custom field that might ask a specific question like, how many staff do you have? Okay, but I might say, do you get new appointments in your calendar book for your YouTube videos, right? So whatever it is, it might be. And so you can ask a whole range of questions. And then if we go here and just say test form for calendar, give it a name, and we save. Now if we go back here, I'm just going to click save. And we're going to go back. And there it is there, test form for calendar. Now we can use that form instead of just getting the first name, last name, email, phone, and notes. Okay. So I'm just going to go back to that. Now, this is really important. Pre-populate fields, sticky contacts, turn that on. That means if someone has filled in one of these forms or another form in your GoHighLevel at any time in the past, GoHighLevel knows their name, phone, and email. So what it's going to do is pre-populate that form with these details. It's very, very important. Adding guests I never do, but you can add a guest. You can give a field to add a guest if you like. And then confirmation page. This is like a default message when someone submits their details. It'll just say thank you for your appointment request, and you can write whatever you like there. Another way of doing it is to redirect them. If you click here, and you can redirect them to another URL. Especially this is good if you're in a funnel and you want to redirect them to another page that says, hey, thank you, here's a video, watch the video. You can do that. So you can put that in here. One thing I must say to you though is that I will typically put this on default if I'm building a funnel in GoHighLevel. If I'm building the funnel in WordPress or another app and I'm embedding this into my WordPress site or my HubSpot site or another type of site, lead pages, I will click redirect URL and then I will put in the page I want them to go to after they fill in this calendar and book an appointment, right? But if we're working with GoHighLevel, we can leave it on default. And then in the funnel, we can say, go to the next step of the funnel. And I'll show you that during the funnel build. Okay, so if you're embedding this into a GoHighLevel funnel, leave it as default. If you're putting it on a WordPress website or some other app, if you're embedding it there, click on redirect URL and then type in the URL, the page you want them to go to once they submit this. If you don't have a page, then you can just do default. Now, the reason you want this redirect URL is if you're running an ad and someone books it, they have to go to another page. And if they go to another page, you can fire off the Facebook pixel and say appointment booked. Now, that's a marketing advertising thing. If you don't have that requirement, then just put it on default. And if it's all too confusing for you, just put it on default, okay? All right. Auto-confirm new calendar meetings, always do that. So what this means is when someone books it, you don't have to go and confirm it manually in the calendar section of GoHighLevel. It'll just auto-confirm and it'll trigger automations. This auto-confirm is an important thing when it comes to triggering of automations that actually remind people to turn up to this appointment, okay? So once you've done that, click save. And we'll go to the notification section. So this is all pretty standard. So send an acknowledgement email, yes, to acknowledge to people that the appointment's booked. That's a standard email written by GoHighLevel. Who should receive it? The contact should receive it, and the assigned user. This is the assigned user is the person in GoHighLevel, the team member who that appointment is booked with. Okay. And then allow Google Calendar to send invitation or update emails. Definitely click that. That's very important for Google to be able to send those. It's very helpful. And assign contacts to their respective calendar team members each time an appointment is booked. What this means, I typically leave this off. It's quite complicated and it's a bit of it can be very tricky. But basically, if this contact is assigned to another team member or another user in GoHighLevel, if they book with a different person, then it will assign this person or this prospect to the user that they have the appointment booked with. So it'll leave the other salesperson and be assigned to this person. Very complicated. I would just leave it off for now. There's only certain situations where you need that. So then you click save. And then you finally go to this section. So leave Neo, okay? I typically don't let people choose. Now, this is important if you have multiple, let's say you're a physiotherapist and you have multiple physiotherapists and people want to choose the physiotherapist they book with, then this is awesome, right? And so you can get them to choose, turn it on, they can choose the staff member before they book. So I think that's a really good feature for some businesses, but not all. And leave this on, allow rescheduling and allow cancelling, so people can reschedule and cancel. So click save. And you're done. And so here it is here. Video marketing machine strategy call. Now, how do you use it? Well, you click these three buttons and there's a few ways you can use it. Number one, you can copy the embed code. So now you have this embed code. You can go to a website. So let me just do this quickly for you. Okay, so I've just got a website here that you can have a look at, and it's just a page on a WordPress website using Elementor. I just want to show you how easy it is to put the GoHighLevel calendar in here. So if this is the page, if you're using Elementor, you click here, you look for a HTML widget, whatever app you're using, it's HTML you got to paste in, and then you paste in the code. Whoop, that's not the code. Let's go back. Let's click here. Let's go to copy embed code. So we've copied it, and then we paste it here, and you'll see it gets rendered. And there's the calendar. And you can see a 30-minute consultation, video marketing machine strategy call, and you can see all the days I'm available. Click update, and then you can view the actual website here. Okay, so there you go. And then if we go back, there's a few other things you can do. You can click the 3 dots. You can copy the embed code. You can get the permalink, copy the permalink. So what this is, if you copy that, paste it in, this is the GoHighLevel URL that you can use. It's a permanent URL, and you can save it and you can send it to clients whenever you like. And then there's a few more things I think. You can copy a scheduling link. So if you click this one, it's kind of the same thing as this one here. Okay, there's not much of a difference. And then you can deactivate the calendar so it's not available, and you can move it to a group, and then you can delete the calendar. So that is calendars. It's a big video, but that's pretty much everything you need to know about calendars, and we'll create a video showing you how to embed a calendar into a funnel. I've shown you how to embed it into a WordPress page, but then we'll put it into a funnel and you'll see how that works.